Hi, everybody. If you're just tuning in like everybody else is, I've lost where I was going with my train of thought. That's always a good way to start stream is be like, I, I've got nothing. Oh, right. I have a monologue. That's right. That's what I do at the top of these streams.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yep.
So, hello. Welcome. This is the ninth session of Motley Heights. If this is your first time joining us, I'm sorry, but welcome all the same.
Before you continue,
We
I'm going to need you to hydrate.
Gonna need me to hide it there. Oh, we already got Nuka-Cola redeems in chat too. I see
Oh,
chat
these
has come
guys.
prepared today.
Let's go.
So, for context, for anybody who's new, as I quickly sip a little bit of water. So, we are role playing using the Fallout 2D20 system from Modiphius, and I would highly recommend checking out our previous VODs and the 2D20 system itself. Now, links to all that nonsense should show up in chat if you're on Twitch, or if you're on YouTube, it'll be below the VOD. Announcement-wise, I have a few things. The first is that I have recently released a new short story / novella entitled Null Odyssey, and the quick TLDR is it follows the journey of a sentient black hole as it tries to make contact with humanity. Now, I don't want to say more than that, but if that it all piques your interest, or hell, you just want to support me by buying a book, you can get it either on my Patreon or on Amazon for less than $1. And I would really appreciate it if you gave it a read and or a review, because that's how you get more people to buy it, and that's how your story propagates. Propagates?
Read it.
Propa thing? Anyway. Second thing I want to say is that I am trying to spin up 2 new games. One of them is a Star Trek Adventures game on Thursdays or Fridays, and that is set in the Lost Era. And there's also, on Saturday mornings, afternoons, there's an all-evil Dragonborn D&D 5th edition game that I might be spinning up. So if you want to find the application links for those 2 games, either check out my Twitter or join us in Discord, and you can find it in the LFG channel there. What else do I do? Oh, right. Standard disclaimer. So, Fallout, by its very nature, is a series that deals with a lot of difficult topics. We're going to stay Twitch safe, but there might be dark humor and disturbing themes, so viewer discretion is advised. With that said, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to let my players introduce themselves, starting with Mr. Wolf.
Everyone, my name is Dare Wolf, Dare Wolf Gaming 88 on Twitter and Twitch. I am playing Sergeant Nicola T, Brotherhood of Steel, and it's just an absolute pleasure to be here.
Hey guys, I'm Aaron. I am Draxus, the Intelligent Deathclaw. Also Commander Dante on Star Trek Congo on Tuesdays, same time, same bat time, or same Rad Roach time, same Rad Roach channel. And I'm always glad to be among such fine company.
Ad Roach channel.
Hex. He's either doing a bit, I'm
He's
not
doing,
sure.
He's doing a bit. He's doing a bit.
He's doing a
I think
bit.
he's still
good.
heard about the golf
I got
thing.
it. I got it.
Oh, right, there it is.
Yeah, sorry. I was dissociating for a second there. I
Happens
am
when he hears my voice.
I am Professor Hex. Yeah, it's like a Pavlovian trigger. I just hear it and suddenly get very bored. I'm Professor Hex. I play Dr. Kazworm, the Ghoul physician and several-time regional golf champion. And I am but one part of Exodia the Forbidden One. Find the other 4. Oh, for
I know
point
that
of reference, I am the right arm. So
Oh, I thought you were the Taint.
well, the Taint is not a tournament legal portion of Exodia.
Part of the cards, man. Part of the cards.
As you can tell, oh, go ahead.
You forgot to add second best golf player in the group.
Oh, ooh, you went there. You went there.
Guys just really don't want to have the stream tonight, I guess, because I don't have to be here.
Oh my god.
I mean,
all right. Well, before we hate each other even more, let us go ahead and get started. So it's been about a week since the whole golf fiasco, and in that time, I'd like to imagine we've seen little vignettes of Draxus and Nicola T having it out over whether or not to put up a certain table or certain decoration in Motley Heights. We have these little scenes of Dr. Worm just hitting a bucket of golf balls with the mass driver out into the ocean. We see Angela chasing off Nicola T as he tries to steal one of her Nuka-Cola. You know, the standard sort of life, such as it is for the Motley Height crew. However, there is one very special thing that happens maybe about midday on a Thursday. And as you all are doing your various tasks, Angela sort of comes into the main square of Motley Heights and announces so that all of you can hear, even in your various positions in Motley Heights, hey, guys, it's done. I finished the Morgana thing.
Wait, what?
Wasn't that Nikki? I thought you were doing that.
Oh no, I ain't good with robots or technology. Really, I'm just good at shooting things in golf, but really just those two things. Yeah,
Is she the one that's been doing this whole time?
I think so. That lady was kind of nice. I think I'm gonna go meet her, and I will saunter off in the direction of the Morgana thing.
Well, ironically enough, it's actually being held in the church.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
All kinds of bad vibes there.
Mm-hmm.
This reminds me of a certain underwater scenario we played session 3. Yikes.
Well, it's funny you mentioned session 3 and session 4 because when, assumedly, all of you walk into the church, you actually don't stay in the main area of the church. If you remember, in Motley Heights, the main power generator is beneath the church in the Undercroft. So when you go down there, what you see is a drastic change from when you were last down here, because I don't think there's a reason any of you would have come down here at any point, but feel free to correct me if so. What I mean specifically is that from the last time you were here, it was just sort of a dusty old fusion reactor, some benches, maybe a tomb or two of some unknown individual. Now there's the fusion reactor immaculately prepared, no dust to be found. But next to it is what is essentially a coffin-like object made out of dark metal that is almost Vanta black. And Angela, sort of, as you all filter in, she kind of motions at the coffin object and says, so, what do you think? I did it exactly to the plans you gave me.
All right, first question. I thought we were waking up a robot, not a vampire. Second question, are you actually a vampire?
Okay, no, we've been over this. I'm not a vampire. I will not suck you in any sense of the word. Whether or not I built a vampire, I don't think it works that way either.
Okay, first off, that's hurtful. Second of all, it's exactly what a vampire would say. I'll slowly back away and move ever so slightly behind Draxus. Are you going to turn it on or something? I mean,
Well, I was just sort of... Draxus looks like he was going to say something. I wanted to give the big guy a moment. Take your time. It's okay.
Coffin.
I mean, it's what I had on hand. I had to make a metal frame, and that's what was down here, so that's what I used.
So you took metal bits, which are traditionally straight or at 90-degree angles, and you turned it into a coffin.
Yeah, pretty much.
That means that you took the time to reshape the metal into the form of a coffin instead of just making a box.
She kind of looks at the object and looks back at you and goes, I think we all have various definitions of what a coffin is supposed to look like.
But setting aside for just a moment the karmic implication of birthing a life form.
No. I'm not done. Okay. We're going to be very particular. I invoke Robert's Rules of Order. Okay. I was talking. I have the stick.
He's got me.
Now look here. a coffin is tapered at the head and at the foot and is wide at the shoulders, right? It's really meant ideally for a human form. And
Right.
generally speaking,
It's a corpse.
yes, it's for a corpse,
Yeah,
right?
vampire, undead guy.
A casket is just like a rectangle, like a box, right? So again, I have to question why you chose the gothic ass coffin for the robot.
She's gothic ass vampire.
She kind of looks back at the coffin, looks back at you, looks back at the coffin, looks back to you, and says, "Yeah, I actually don't have a good answer for that. I just sort of, it happened. I was following direction. I was in a groove, and
Okay, that's all. That's all I
Most
wanted.
truthful thing you've ever said.
All right. So anyway, getting back to. I'm sorry. May I have the stick, please?
That's not a real stick, Draxus.
All right,
It's
I
a
have.
thing. Yeah.
Then I have the stick. If you.
I spend a luck point that I happen to have a stick in my pocket, and I hand it to
Oh,
him.
all right. I've got the stick
a
now.
spend of
I
a
feel-
luck.
I feel
Goddamn
a
right.
lot better. I feel a
Worth
lot
it.
better. All right. So I'm just concerned for this creature's karmic balance to be birthed out of a coffin. It's coffins are symbolic of death. It's not really. It's about the least lively thing that you could come out of when you are born. So I don't know. Maybe we could have. It's
I mean,
just
what do
it's
you-
creepy. It's creepy to be born out of a coffin. That's all I'm saying.
So, what's your alternative here? Do we just? Excuse
We
me,
ha-
Angela. Do you have room in your cavernous genitals to shove that robot in there and just try to pop it back out? That's what I'm getting.
I wasn't nothing so crass, Doc Worm. My God, I was just thinking.
Excuse me.
if-
I used the medical term.
Yeah, but I mean, you said like.
I
but
could
then
have
you
said
pop it
14
out of
other
there.
horrible
You
things.
yeah, but you said pop it out of there, like that's
Yeah,
just
it's
so
a technical
casual.
term.
You know,
It's
Pop.
not
Dr.
it's-
Worm, I am no medical
You-
professional, but that is not a medical term. I know for a fact.
Well, you may not be a medical professional, but Doc Worm's not really a golfer, so.
All right.
Angela
so-
just very slowly
Oh.
reaches out a hand for the stick and pulls it away from Draxus, assuming Draxus.
Hey, I wasn't finished. I
I
wasn't
need
finished.
the stick.
Okay.
I need the stick.
Could we not have gone for, if we were going for Gothic, could we not go for like more of a Frankenstein vibe with the lightning shooting down? We've got a fusion reactor right there.
I'll be good with Frankenstein. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess I could have done it that way, but I mean,
I'm just
here,
saying
you
there
can
are
look at the
better-
plans
there-
yourself.
There are
And
better
she-
aesthetic choices. Is all
She
I'm
actually pulls up the plans, like the printouts of the plans that you gave her to make the whole thing. And you see that in
it's-
order to
saying. It is
make
actually
it.
coffin shaped on this.
Mhm.
Yeah, see, now that I look at it, I think maybe it says Vampgana instead of Morgana. I don't know. I'm not feeling good about this one. I need some garlic.
And Angela just sort of looks between all of you and says, "Okay, are we done? Are we going to table this? Because somebody needs to push the button." And she holds
Why?
up a shiny blue button.
I don't have the stick, so I can't express my views.
Oh, here you
Yeah,
go.
we need to
Your
talk
bone
about that.
is
Nikki,
good.
why were you carrying around a stick in your pocket?
Oh, Lord, can you
You
not?
never know when someone might invoke the rules.
First, walk softly and carry a stick. It's a saying.
Yeah, that's exactly why I was carrying it. So anyway, Dr. Worm's got the stick now. Click.
Thank you. And I'll just snap it over my knee.
We're going to need a new stick.
Rules, like sticks, are made to be broken. Okay?
You know,
That's a good one.
Eh.
Would you like to do the honors,
My dad gave me
Doc
that
Worm, of pressing the button?
Are you kidding me? You want me to bring whatever the hell this thing is into the world? No, thank you. I am not going to. It's going to wake up. It's going to.
Too bad. And Angela literally throws the button with such force that it just hits Dr. Worm in the forehead.
Motherfucker.
So now, whatever ill comes of this casket, it'll be on you, not on me. That's
Sorry, I didn't mean to hit you in the head. I meant to hit you in the oh, okay. That That's going to leave a mark. I feel real bad now. That was meant to be a bit.
It's not going to leave a mark. I mean, you hit him on the exposed skull part. So
Okay,
I feel really bad now.
Listen, legally speaking, I am not this thing's parent. I just want to make that perfectly clear.
And she kind of turns, and all of you look. There is actually ominous smoke and fog and mist rolling out of the bottom of the coffin.
Come on! I mean, come on!
No, it's it's on the blueprints right here. It's the it's just oxygen.
This is some Transylvanian shit.
I don't know who put this on here. Like, it's just.
Well, unless any of you try to stop it, this goes on for maybe about another minute, and then you hear a clunk.
All right, Alice, and then a Cooper, clunk, get it over with.
Clunk, clunk, clunk.
Oh, I would have said Spinal Tap.
The top begins to open up, swing on a hinge, and emerging from inside the compartment is something that I'm actually going to rely a little bit on your D&D knowledge for those of you listening. The players get to see a lovely handout, but for everybody else, I got to describe it to the viewers. So if you will imagine basically a mind flayer where it kind of has that squid lower half, or at least that sort of mass of tentacles that they sort of, scuttle around on in D&D, some of that same vibe is here, where the lower half is very similar to a mind flayer. The upper half is decidedly more human, wherein it is not like, if you know what a mind flayer is, it basically is like an octopus head, and it has an actual beak instead of a mouth. In this instance, the body that comes out is, again, normal human, so it has 2 eyes, a nose, a mouth. It doesn't really have tentacles for hands. It has actual hands. Its hair is somewhat tentacle-ish, but in general, what you're looking at here is something very alien, something that if we were playing Call of Cthulhu, I'd make you do a sanity check on. But as this figure emerges, they sort of stop and they look around very slowly, and then they look at each of you in turn, and then looks right at Dr. Worm and says, I don't think you qualify for child support either. Sorry, I heard your entire conversation while you were doing what I'm understanding is a bit.
I love her.
Can you understand me?
Can you not understand me?
Well,
you've got a lot of reverb.
You gotta. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
And she actually kind of like jolts her head to the side a little bit. It's like a nervous tick, and she says, "Is this any better?"
No, that's crunchy. I don't like
wait,
that.
hang on. Can you do one thing for me?
What?
Can you say, Autobots transform and roll out?
No, because as we all know, the Decepticons were superior to the Autobots.
Ooh, okay, then say Decepticons retreat.
I'm not going to do that disservice to the Decepticons. They deserve better. All hail Galvatron.
What the fuck is happening?
Oh. You know what? I'll be outside, guys. We've got a G2 fan here. And Traxxas is just going to turn and head up the stairs.
I always preferred Beast Wars, but that's just my opinion.
What the fuck is Beast Wars?
And her head kicks to the side again and says, all right, I think I figured it out. Angela, was it? Yeah, that's me. You did a good job following directions. Little problems here and there. She kind of holds up her hand, and you see like her left index finger is continually twitching. And she says, now that I'm using this body, I can do little tweaks on it. But yes, I already know you, all of you, but you don't know me. So reintroduction, I suppose. I am Morgana, also known as to put it plainly, the Mars-operated reactive Generation 4 neural automaton. And I gotta say, I was expecting maybe a little bit more excitement from Earth to core. Like, don't get me wrong, Mars isn't like high fashion, but I don't know, maybe a light, a disco ball, something with personality.
Honestly, I'm missing the reverb now. Can you turn it back on?
With the first one or the second one or
Not the second one. The second one was a hot mess. The first one.
I can do that, yes.
Okay, there we go. That's stuff. Okay, could you repeat all that, please?
She repeats all of it. And then she adds, so this is actually kind of a moment in history if you think about it. Not only have you made full contact with Mars at this point, but we've brought something back from Mars. It's an accomplishment for all humanity. Well done, well done. And she actually kind of applauds you all.
Listen, lady. Normally, I would agree with you. Being a man of science, as I am, but I don't know if you noticed. Civilization has kind of gone to shit. So, one, there's nobody around to give a fuck, and two, I don't think anybody remembers how to write, much less read, and so this will not be remembered.
Okay, quick question. Did everyone get nuked on Mars too, or are they still kicking?
No, they are still kicking, as you put it. But they are, comparison point. You know your vaults, yes? Very similar to what goes on in the vaults.
Oh,
So horrifying human experiments.
Well, and she motions at her form. I didn't exactly come up with this on my own, if you get my meaning.
Sure, yes. Some pervert designed you.
Did they have the forced evolutionary virus on Mars?
We call it something different, but yes. Anyways,
What you're a doctor. You want an explanation on what the FEV is?
No, I wanted to know what else they call it. Of course, I know what the fucking FEV is.
Well, you were doing this thing like you want to. Oh, you want her
Yeah,
to
like
talk more, not me.
tell.
Like it's
Yes, not okay.
Temba,
So
his arms wide. Right.
I got that reference. I got that one, Draxus. It's a fan favorite back on Mars. I got that one.
There you go.
To answer your question, Doctor, we call it, well, or at least I've learned to call it, thanks to those who live there. They call it the Lifeblood, which sounds as bad as it does.
okay.
You know, I have a question.
I have an answer.
Good. Why is it called the lifeblood? The forced evolutionary virus does neither create life nor is it, by its very definition, blood.
Well, when you run it through enough evolutionary changes, the human form starts to look a little bit like myself.
Oh,
Well, that didn't answer anything at all.
I'm glad. I was pretending to understand.
That's all right. I got you.
I think Angela speaks up and says, okay, so a few things. First of all, I can read and write. I don't know what the hell's wrong with any of you buffoons that you can't read or write. I thought at least Nikki could read, but apparently not. And she flips you the bird just to see if you can read that, and then just smiles and says, second thing, you mean to say, Morgana, that they're basically just using the FEV as their vault experiment, as in they're just pumping it through to see what eventually comes out the other side? And Morgana nods and says, yes, it's a very unpleasant process. Let's just say that there is quite a number of test tube babies grown on Mars.
there is a loud like duct tape noise when you're like undoing it, like pulling out a strip, and I'm currently taping my stick back together.
Hey, Doc Worm. Why did we build this?
You know, I'm asking myself that same question.
Well,
Right, now that I've fixed the stick and it's my turn to talk because
he's
these
got-
two mammoth jammers been yammering on forever. So you're here now. Welcome. It's nice to meet you in person, I guess. What do you want to do now that you're here? Please don't eat me.
Welcome to Earth.
I think I'm supposed to say, take me to your leader, but I think I'm already in presence of such, and she winks at Dr. Worm.
I'm right here. That's right.
But the reason you built this body was so that I could escape Mars. Now, of course, the Mars colony is going to have a little bit of a problem now that it doesn't have its chief AI, but my underlings will figure it out. It's their problem now, not mine. Second question, what am I doing here on Earth? Why did I want to come besides the whole get away from crazy people experimenting on themselves?
I got bad news.
Yeah, I know there's still a lot of that here, but I actually think there's something we can do about it. And she kind of actually points to the map, because if I remember, you guys have the map downstairs. So she actually kind of points at the map, and she points directly where the Massachusetts Institute of Technology would be. So the canonical MIT. She points at it and says, I understand that the Institute is somewhere around this area, and that their main base has never really been found. However, if we are able to get our hands on such a locale, I do believe we can bring great change to the better to the wasteland.
You know, they tried to take my blood and my DNA to make a whole bunch of crazy Intelligent Deathclaw soldiers, so I really feel like we should stay away from them. Because those people are crazy.
And that's saying something coming from him.
Morgana sort of looks at Draxus for a little bit, looks him up and down, and then I think Angela's going to cut in here and say, I'm just going to throw it out there. I mean, the Institute has been a thorn in everyone's side for decades. What is it that you bring to the table that's not something anybody else has tried?
Yep, I was going to ask that.
And Morgana nods and says, well, when you're a Class Z intelligence, let's just say that their secrets can be liberated.
I mean, Z is the last letter of the alphabet.
Would you, if I preferred to use Greek instead?
Oh, please, yes.
Then Omega intelligence.
Ooh, she is smart.
Well, that's only slightly higher than Z. So,
right, but it's got the cool, like,
I mean, Alpha's at the top. So, I mean,
anyways, you don't need to do this. In fact, I really wouldn't bother you with it, but you seem like capable individuals. I want to get into the Institute, maybe not physically, but via into their network. And to do that, we're going to need a lot of parts, a lot of resources, a lot of intelligence on how the Institute operates.
Can't you just and I do that as I'm doing this, I'm like looking at Nikki conspiratorially. Can't you just shapeshift into a mist or a form of bats or?
Ooh, she could hypnotize the gate guards to be let in.
Exactly. Oh wait, is there any running water between here and the Institute? Because you can't go over it.
Oh yeah.
She looks at Angela, and Angela just sighs and says, yeah, they're going to do this a lot. So if you want to stick around, it's either learn to deal with it or... I think Morgana actually chuckles at that and says, well, I am not a vampire, first of all. But I can do this. I think you'll find this amusing.
Willikers, are you serious?
She
You mean to tell
she
me
doesn't.
Mr. Brilliant, apparently golf champion, can't tell the difference between a vampire and a fucking tentacle robot thing? I am flabbergasted.
Okay, first off, Dr. Worm, you don't have the stick, so don't talk. Second of all, I realized she wasn't a vampire as soon as she stepped forth from the creepy mist. Vampires don't have tentacles. I mean, come on. You think I'm some sort of fucking idiot? This guy.
Well, it's a funny thing you mentioned the tentacles, and she actually extends her hand, and very similar to what you saw down in the Enclave, the parts of her arm open up and become a Gatling laser gun. And she doesn't aim it at anybody, just, kind of just shows it, just shows that she can, and says, I could probably shoot my way into a few buildings, but...
You don't need our help.
You know what? If it's all the same to you fellas, I'm going to help the nice lady. You were always kind of polite to me when I was talking to you in the ship thing, so least I could do is repay the favor. I'll help you blow up the Institute.
Well, I mean, it's not so much going without reward.
Oh yeah, you're going to pay me for it and give me all the loot and everything, of course. I mean, that goes without saying, but goodness, my heart, blah blah blah. Get paid.
No, I was simply going to say that I could definitely beef up the defenses of Motley Heights, as you call it. Your laser turrets are in severe need of repair, if what I've overheard Angela here say. And Angela says, she kind of does that, gesture across her throat, like Morgana should shut up.
What about the laser turrets?
Nothing. They're perfectly fine.
You say they're perfectly fine. I hear your words, but your facial expression and your mannerisms lead me to believe that things may not, in fact, be fine.
Oh, that may be just a malfunction. You know how robots are.
Oh, this is Angela speaking, not Morgana. Small portal order.
I know what I said.
Okay, just making sure. Hey, he broke the fourth wall, everybody. It's the first instance of it. Anyways, Angela kind of scratches the back of her head and goes, all right, so you know that rad storm we had about 3 days ago? The one where we all kind of came into the church and we gave Nicola T a bunch of shit for his, what was it again? What did you call it, a kielbasa?
It was delicious.
Anyways, putting the kielbasa aside, after the storm, you know how I kind of had to go around inspecting like the premises and all that? The turrets didn't make it. We've kind of been without any defenses for like 3 days.
Right,
but the fridge is still running. Small positive. Fridge is perfectly okay. All the Nuka-Cola is as it should be.
Yeah, okay. First question, why don't you tell us? Second question, I'm really glad the Nuka-Cola is okay.
Well, you kind of see the face Dr. Worm's making right now. That's why I didn't tell you.
So, you're telling me that we've been, sleeping here, taking a piss, all manner of extremely vulnerable situations in this dilapidated shithole, and there hasn't been at least one metal lasery friend to fucking watch your backs?
Yeah, that about sums it up.
Wait, just a second. Are you trying to tell me that you think enough of me to say, hey, we don't need laser turrets. We've got a Deathclaw, and people are afraid of those, so they'll probably leave us alone? Is that what you're telling me?
Is there a competition going on for greatest delusion? Was I not informed?
I wasn't finished. I was going to go on to say that's extremely ill-advised.
Well, to put it plainly, it was either make Morgana here or fix the turrets. And considering how much you whined about how hard it was to get the ingredients the first time, yeah, I opted for Morgana here because I thought, maybe you'd appreciate her a little bit more. The turrets you just kind of take for granted.
You clearly underestimate my ability to take things for granted.
It's true.
I believe there's an expression that you all use. Perhaps we should table this. And Angela just turns to Morgana and says, "No, you shut up. We are having a moment here." And
I love her.
Morgana just sort of holds up her hands and goes, Go ahead.
So basically, to get our laser turrets back up and running, we need to attack the Institute, which will then send synths after us in such massive quantities that any laser-based defenses we have will be rendered completely moot.
Actually, about that, do you want to say hello, or should I just shoot you? And you all see Morgana once again make her arm into the Gatling laser. She points it past you all. And if you turn to look, you see nothing. It's just an empty wall next to the staircase that leads to the top of the church.
Okay, haunted robot. Nice, great.
All right, fine. If you're not going to play nice, I will make the choice for you. And this isn't going to require a roll because it's close quarters. She's able to hit it. She does open fire, and before your very eyes, a human-looking man drops as if from thin air, and a stealth boy clatters to the ground at Dr. Worm's feet. And Morgana goes on to say, "I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the Institute is already here."
Great. First it's my DNA. Now it's my home. Where does it end? You know what? They take my DNA, and I fall back. They invade my home, and I fall back. No more. I'm going to draw the line here. It's this far, no further. Point me in their direction. I am going to fuck up their day.
And the gentleman, for his credit, he's spotting a very nasty energy burn from the Gatling laser. And he kind of groans and goes, "Oh, God. Oh, shit, you all can see me now."
I shoot him in the head.
No,
You shoot- you-
no. Hold up, Dr.
Well,
Worm.
it's too late.
Surprisingly enough,
He's got
Nope.
the
he
stick.
will reach
I'm
out
firing.
and push Dr. Worm's hand aside so that it blows a hole in the wall.
No, I will not. I will spend a luck point so that the bullet ricochets off the interior of the church and into the man's skull.
Here we go, gentlemen, so we don't have to get into a actual
Nicolette
PvP.
looks at that situation and goes, "Well, was meant to be. Fair enough.
Okay. All right, if you want to spend a luck, that's how we'll resolve it.
It's fine."
I love it when you guys do that. So yeah, roll damage on your weapon, because you could conceivably not actually kill him here. He actually has quite a bit of health and resistance.
Well, that's kind of embarrassing. I wish you'd told me that.
Well, you were having a moment. I wanted to let you have it, so...
Okay, here we go.
If you do one more damage, they're dead. So you would have to re-roll that 0 in order to deal the one more damage.
Spending another luck point.
Oh, even with the luck spend. So, remind me, you have, what is it, a 44, if I remember correctly?
I do have a 44, yes.
All right, so what happens, to sort of sum all this up, you bring the 44 to bear like...
It does have vicious, by the way.
Oh, if it's got vicious, that changes things. Okay. So you bring your 44 to bear, and like a certain Dirty Harry, you deliver a soliloquy, plug him in the head. The man falls to the ground, as Nicola T kind of motions to, stop and all that. But something interesting happens when fluids begin to leak out of the man's head. It's not blood. It's not gray matter. It is a white, almost amniotic fluid that all of you would recognize as being synth, more or less.
Skim milk.
Mm-hmm.
So, we could have talked to him for a second and then blew his brains out, or computer chips.
Yeah, but okay, Nikki, I feel you. I'm picking up what you're putting down. But we've got a dead robot guy over there, and we've got a live robot lady over there. Why can't we just do we have a cable that we could hook them up together and she could tell us what he knows?
I would not presume to ask the lady to hook up with the other robot person. We just met her. I mean, Jesus, Draxus, have a little bit of class here. I'm sorry, man.
Actually, I actually do have a way to interface with the synth. It's
all right, whatever you're into. That's not my choice. It's fine.
I always forget how interesting you humans are when it comes to such things. She scuttles over, kind of kneels down next to the body, and the same arm that became the Gatling gun sort of snaps back to being a normal arm. Only this time, the tip of her index finger opens up and a cable sort of snakes out and into the synth's neck. And you don't hear anything, but if you would like to imagine a Ghost in the Shell overture as she downloads the information.
I'm going to imagine a 56K modem.
There you go. That's another good one. The old AOL dial-up sound. Always a classic. But yeah, after a moment, the cable retracts, and Morgana stands up.
I'm going to imagine the theme song to The Greatest American Hero.
Believe it or not.
I'm walking on air.
air.
I never thought I could be so free.
I'm spending one of my luck to make that actually happen in character.
Who could it be?
Believe it or not, it's just me.
Yeah, I'm spending a luck that just happened in character. So, as Morgana stands up, I think Angela kind of looks between Worm and Draxus in their duet and goes, "You actually have lovely voices. You should... Hey, if this whole thing doesn't work out, you could start a barbershop quartet, I think."
Yeah, okay.
Anyways, Morgana, honey, do you have any information here before Nicola T accuses you of being a vampire again?
Well, I mean, she's plugged in to this dead robot, draining its knowledge. So really, who was wrong with the vampire thing?
I'm not going to comment on the vampire thing. Oh, hold on. Somebody just redeemed Wild Wasteland, and they want to roll on table 1. All right, pull table 1.
You would.
Watney, why?
All right, Watney, hitting the button. Okay, that's interesting. Actually, that's extremely interesting given current events. So, Morgana starts...
Coronavirus just starts.
Well, I meant more in-game current events, but I see what you do. Anyways.
No, you didn't specify.
This is true. I did not specify. That's on me. Morgana begins to say something, but there is a sudden crack of thunder. And what I should say here is that a crack of thunder like that, you would only know comes from one of 2 or 3 things. Either a very powerful storm has started to make its way across the Commonwealth, somebody has fired a very high energy powered weapon, or you're just hearing things again. You're not sure which it is.
Do I smell burnt ozone?
You actually do smell burnt ozone, yes.
Well, I'm going to go see what that is.
All right. You walk up, and again, thanks to the big hole in the church's ceiling that's only partially covered by the original table, you actually do see that a large amount of dark clouds has started to roll in from the southwest. And when I say storm, I don't mean just like an afternoon shower or your average rad storm. I'm talking like this thing could spawn a tornado level of storm. Like the clouds are sort of circling and swirling. They're sort of yellowish tinged. And in general, if there were still tornado sirens available and working, they'd be going off right now. But Nicola T, there is one other thing you might be able to see. Roll me a perception and a survival at a difficulty of 3.
I can do that. I'm going to spend that AP, because why not? Generic roller, this is a tag skill.
Also, Eldridge, yeah, she's probably going to be doing a lot of scuttling. Just have a feeling.
Come on, big money, no whammies. That is a critical on the last roll.
On the 3. Yep, there's your 3 successes. This is where the actual part of the Wild Wasteland, the wild part, comes in. Nicola T is squint really, really hard, and you think that might be the Wicked Witch of the West, broomstick and all, flowing at the front of the storm.
Vampires, witches. If I run into a fucking demon today, no, turn around.
I'm spending 1 luck that he doesn't see it, but everybody on stream sees it. You just sort of see a demon like poke its head into the church and go, "Oh, sorry, he doesn't want to see me. All right, bye-bye."
Around and walk downstairs. Just a bad storm. Should be over soon. No big deal.
We just had one. Where is this one coming from?
There was like a witch lady at the front of it. She seemed fine.
What?
What?
A witch?
There was a lady on a broomstick flying. I think she said "hey" at one point, and that was it.
Are you sure that's it's okay? I think that's probably a bystander with a broom that got swept up by the storm and is screaming for help.
I understand what happened here. That's the sound of a horse. The storm picked the horse up, and it's whinnying and neighing and so on in fear. That's what you saw.
There was a lady on a broomstick, a very finely crafted broomstick, might I add.
Well, maybe a horse-faced lady.
That's mean.
Sort of a Sarah Jessica Parker situation.
Glad somebody said it. I was waiting. There you go. We broke Wolf. Mission accomplished, everybody.
Fuck, man. I can't with you. I try so hard to stay in character, and I just can't.
You got to do what I do and just tap down all emotion.
To Sarah Jessica Parks, but I don't know who you're talking about. And second of all, it was a lady on a broomstick, and I don't know.
Listen, Dr. Worm's actually going to put a hand on Nikki's shoulder. Listen, buddy, you've been under a lot of stress lately. You know, we just saw something come out of a coffin. No matter what comes out of that, it's just a stressful time for everybody. Mm-hmm. Why don't you go hit the fridge, grab a Nuka-Cola, just take a minute to yourself, you know?
Yeah, it was real stressful winning that golf tournament, and I'll give him a quick pat on the other shoulder, turn around, and go grab myself a Nuka-Cola.
The moment Nicola T is out of earshot, Morgana sort of comments, "Dr. Worm, would you like me to shoot him?"
Yes, I would.
Noted. I will find something non-lethal and shoot him with that.
That's not what I said. I did not put any specifications on that, and I think we both understood what that meant.
Well, I mean, he was really nice talking to me. I don't want to just kill him.
Listen, you can shoot him in a non-vital area. Just make sure it hurts.
Okay, I can do that.
Do you know where the gallbladder is?
Ironically enough, I know where every major organ is, yes.
There you go. Perfect. Just pop him in one of those.
You don't think he needs his appendix still, do you?
No. In fact, I think he could do without one kidney, honestly.
As this banter is going on, I'm going to spend a luck point that as Nicola T gets up to the top of the stairs, the demon is outside smoking a cigarette. And he goes, "Oh, God damn it! Stupid fucking demon! Go back to hell!" And he walks over and gets his Nuka-Cola.
I just love that a throwaway joke has evolved into now Nicola T is seeing things. I just love it. But actually, Nicola T, by the time you get between where the church is and where the fridge is, the storm has gotten even closer. In fact, it's getting closer at a rapid rate. And actually, all of you, even downstairs in the bottom of the church in the Undercroft, you're now hearing the thunder. You're seeing the flashes of lightning. But if you listen just really, really carefully, you can also hear the cackling of a witch that Nicola T did describe. There you go. We are now DMCA'd. It's been a nice stream, everybody. It's been nice knowing you.
That horse sounds like it's having a bad day.
That's parody. We're fine.
Really, yeah, that animal is in a lot of distress. Hey, you don't think the Institute is controlling the weather with some kind of a dominator, do you?
I do, actually, 100%.
I actually would, yes.
The Institute is like, all right, back in my time, the government was kind of a big deal, right? They were basically in charge of everything. And they could basically do whatever they wanted, right? This was long before the bombs and, the whole, ghoulification and all that crap. The Institute is probably the closest thing to an actual government in terms of power. So, yeah, I think they're just shooting chemtrails up in the air and using radio waves to turn our kidneys into mush or they could do. They're basically mad scientists. No, they're actually mad scientists.
Perhaps someone should go check on Nicola T.
Nah, he's fine.
I'll do it. I could use a Nuka-Cola myself. Hey, Doc, you want one?
No, I'm trying to watch my figure.
And just real quick, because I think we all sort of forget this rule, I'm looking it up, but if I remember correctly, it's either Nuka-Cola gives you one, or it's the Quantum that gives you one. Let's take a look here. Let's see. Nuka-Cola. Why are you not just on the list? Because that would be convenient. Because they had to put it in the beverages table. Okay, yeah. You're taking, just a Nuka-Cola there, Mr. Nicola T?
I'm going to treat myself to a Quantum.
All right, then you immediately gain 5 AP. But
as Draxus comes up, Nicola T is...
Well, before Draxus actually gets there, real quick, I do have to say one thing, because this is actually a major Wild Wasteland event. It's not just a throwaway gag. There's actually, stuff tied to it.
Oh, boy.
So at this point, the witch has flown overhead. The witch isn't really much of a concern. That point, you're not sure if that was just you hallucinating or if just literally a cow or something got flung up in the air. Whatever you make of that is your business. However, by the time Draxus gets outside of the church, the wind, the rain, the particles of dust, all of it is actually like a Category 4 or a Category 5 hurricane, which if you've never been in one in real life, it's not fun. It's really not. It's one of those things where you could literally go outside of your home and have difficulty staying upright. The wind is so bad and the rain is so bad. The other thing to consider is that there's an abundance of radiation that is swirling because radiation, if you don't know, is very easily picked up on the wind. So there is an inordinate? You know what I'm trying to say. A large amount of radiation swirling around out here. Which, Draxus, you're fine. You're heavy enough and you're immune to radiation, so you're just getting wet from the rain. Dr. Worm, you're immune to radiation and you're in the Undercroft, so you're fine. But Nicola T, where you are, you're not having fun at all. In fact, it's all you can do that by the time Draxus gets to you, you are literally holding the fridge for dear life.
I always knew I'd go out like this. I knew it!
And Draxus will do two things. He'll wrap himself around Nicola T and the fridge because he doesn't want Nikki to go flying, but he also doesn't want to lose any of that precious, precious Nuka-Cola. He's gonna just look down at Nikki and say, "Hey, so, how are you with, the radiation exposure thing?"
Let me die! Let me die!
No, I'm not gonna do that, but you just have to understand that
Let him do it.
you're about to be probably moderately to severely irradiated, and it's gonna feel like you took a bath in a heat bleaching mine.
Well, it's a funny thing you say that because I'm actually going to start keeping track of turns here and how many rounds passed. So, Nicola T, you are about to suffer radiation damage. Now, radiation damage is a little bit different than normal damage. It has its own sort of resistances, which you may have on some parts of your armor, but I'm not 100% sure. But basically, the way radiation damage works is it does not actually reduce your current health total or your current health that you have right now. What it does is it reduces the total. So, for example, if you had 23 and I did 2 radiation damage, you would now be at 21 max HP. Now, the extra 2 points just kind of go away, and the only way to get rid of radiation damage is medical treatment, as far as I'm aware. So things like Radaway or Rad-X you would have to find. So I'm going to roll 2 combat dice here, and that's how much radiation damage you are going to have. So you are going to take 3 radiation damage here. And so that we don't lose track of your initial HP, your initial max, make a note somewhere of what your max was.
Do I get to use resistances on my armor?
You do. Do you have any radiation resistance on your armor?
I do. I have 2.
Then you would only take the 1 radiation damage.
Okay.
But yeah, it's sort of thematically what that means is, Nicola T, you've been out in the wasteland long enough that when you get into a high rad area, you start to feel a little bit feverish, maybe a little bit clammy. Your stomach starts to do knots. All that dialed up to 11 in this rad storm.
You just had to mention Spinal Tap, didn't you, you scaly son of a bitch. All right, let's get back down to the basement.
What? I love the tap.
Nicola T would like to request that Draxus, perchance, would assist him in returning to the basement area so that he doesn't die of radiation. I can't see that radiation poisoning.
Yes, I believe I shall assist you indubitably.
Quite right, good sir. Quite right. All right, let's get the fuck out of here.
All right, so that's turn 1. Draxus, it's now your go. And what I'm going to say here is you have one of a few options. And of course, if you have a better one, feel free to tell me to shut up. But here's how I see it. Okay, I'm shutting up.
No, please go on.
Carry me, Senpai, carry me.
Here's how I see the situation. You could just simply take Nicola T. That's easy enough for you to do. You could just, kind of just pick him up like a baby and carry him, no issue. The problem is that the place in the diner where the Nuka-Cola fridge is... The fridge is in danger of being blown away here.
I can't have that.
So, if you want to save the fridge and Nikki, I'm going to need you to roll me a strength and an athletics, or I would even give you endurance and athletics. And it is going to be a difficulty of 4 here.
We have 5 AP.
Okay. All right.
You do have 5 AP.
I'm going to spend 3 AP for 2 additional D20s. All
right.
And thankfully, I'm pretty good. I'm going to use strength. It's a better. So strength and athletics, you said?
You got it.
Athletics is a tag skill for me, so.
Noted. And you also just got an AP from chat.
That's 4 successes anyway.
What is your actual athletics skill?
Oh, it's a 4 because that's a maximum for the Deathclaw.
Okay. Just making sure. So yeah, in that case, you're going to get your 4 successes. So what I'm going to need you to do now is I need you to roll me let's see, it would be 3 turns to get there. Roll me 3 challenge dice, and you need 4 total successes or combat dice. You need 4 total successes to get from point A, the diner, to point B, the Undercroft.
Okay. Sorry, how many do you want me to roll?
4 in this instance.
4? All right.
All right, so unless you want to spend to reroll that 0, what I would say is you get 75% of the way there.
Yeah, you know what? I'll luck that last 0, and we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see if I can. Yeah, not meant
enough,
to be.
Unfortunately.
That's fine.
Yep. So, Draxus, how are you carrying the fridge? How are you carrying Nikki here? I'm curious.
So Nikki is under Draxus's armpit, and the fridge is on his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And
I can see it. Yeah, kind of the arm up there, the arm like that. Yeah, I can see it. So yeah, you trudge out into the storm, and even you, as a Deathclaw of all things, you're having to like almost lean a 45-degree angle against the wind and the rain. Nicola T, unfortunately, you didn't get all the way to the church, so you are going to take some more radiation damage here.
That's fine.
All right, so I don't think that's going to affect you because you have radiation resistance on your armor, so you're fine. So I'm going to give you an option here, Draxus. You can either get in on a single turn with the fridge and Nicola T, or, and this is the devil's deal, or
eat Nikki.
Well, not that much
for
fun,
strength to get the fridge the rest of the way in. That's a good idea.
What I'm going to do is, and this is an improv thing, so I might have to go back and rebalance it, but you remember that demon earlier that Nicola T spent the luck to make you more of a thing?
God damn it.
I think it's fun if we take that little off joke and we make something of it. I'm going to say that you, out of the corner of your eye, Draxus, you see the demon sort of waving at you. And it's kind of like giving you like a beckoning finger as if it wants to talk to you. Now, Nicola T, notice here, you don't see the demon. Only Draxus sees the demon right now.
You see it, don't you?
It wants me to come over there.
Now let the fuck off and let's keep moving.
So what's your vote? Church or okay. Hey, fuck off. I'm just gonna go into the church.
You all go into the church. We sort of linger for a moment on the demon, and then the demon goes, I'll get him next time. So at this point, Dr. Worm, Angela, and Morgana and yourself are having actually a lovely conversation. And Morgana says, they really should respect you more. I don't understand why a medical professional such as yourself isn't well respected.
Hey, you're preaching to the choir here.
Hey, I caddied for you. I have plenty of respect for you.
Oh, they're back. And they brought the fridge with them. What? Why the hell did you bring what the hell's going on out there?
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me put it back up there with the F5 winds that'll just carry it off to God knows where. We'll lose all of our Nuka-Cola. Yeah, that's good. I'll just do that.
All right, fair point. I retract my accusation.
Noted. Now, would anybody like a rapidly warming Nuka-Cola?
Well, actually, if we just hook it up to the generator directly, it'll stay cold.
Fair. Yeah, Draxus will walk over with Nicola T under one arm and the fridge on his shoulder. Just walk over and set the fridge down.
You put me down now?
And what? Oh, yeah, in a minute. And it plugs in the refrigerator.
All right, I'm actually going to, of course, the stream isn't going to see this, but I'm going to show you guys before we go to break. As you guys get the fridge and Nicola T situated, Morgana, as you all sort of wait out the storm, Morgana takes the opportunity to point at the map and says, during that bit of excitement, I've identified a hospital to the direct west of Motley Heights. I believe that underneath of the hospital lies a Institute Synth repository. Now, if you're able to get me inside, I do believe I will be able to begin tapping into the secrets of the Institute.
Well, you know what? I've had it with these synths and these storms. So you know what? I say we do it. I say we do it.
Here, here.
Everybody looks at Dr. Worm.
Plus, if we went to a hospital, we may be able to get Doc Worm some nice doctorly things. Wouldn't you like a nice white lab coat? Maybe a stethoscope?
I'm sorry, I don't have the stick, so
Here you are, sir.
thank you. Snaps it in half again. Anywhere's better than here.
I don't. Why did you? I just fixed it. I mean, man. Duct tape.
I mean, it's more.
We're gonna go to break so I can stop laughing like an idiot on stream. We'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes. Stick around. Welcome back, everybody. If you're just tuning in, major events of the first half, the players and their NPC friend Angela have resurrected Morgana, a intelligence, an artificial intelligence from Mars, of all places. If you're confused, go see sessions 2, 3, and 4. You'll understand where Morgana comes from. But Morgana basically told the players that she was interested in getting to know the Institute so that they could destroy the Institute. And before they could truly act on that information and plea for help, there was a rather serious radstorm that moved in, sort of blanketing the area and otherwise making it so that travel was hazardous. And what I'm going to say is that where we rejoin our players, you guys have been in the Undercroft for the better part of a day and a half now. Things are starting to get really old. It's not that much roomy. It's not really roomy down here. It's getting a little bit hot, a little bit humid, but it is definitely something where it's preferable than what's going on upstairs with the storm.
All right. I got another one. I spy with my little eye something gray.
Is it the church?
It's a church. You got it again. You are really good at this game, Draxus. You know, I got to figure out something different. All right. I spy with my little eye something brown.
Is it the ragged patch of skin on Dr. Worm's forehead?
Damn it. You are just on fire. You know what? This is not even fair. I can't play with you.
You know, I mean, don't step to me with I spy, all right?
Questions, not one question, get it right the first try. You sir, that's why we're friends, man. That's why we're friends. Fist bump, call bump. Come on now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh, a little softer now. You be careful.
Oh,
Doctor,
sorry.
would it be preferable if I killed us both in this instance?
Honestly, it's impossible to know whether or not I'm already dead and that this is some kind of hellish purgatory where I'm doomed to pay for my many, many, many sins for all time. So I'm worried that if you kill me, I'm just going to come back here.
The offer is on the table.
All right, Drax, it's your turn. Come on, give me one.
All right.
Give me the
Okay.
one. All right.
Okay.
All right, yeah.
I spy with my little eye
They're big.
something that is purple.
Purple. All right. Is it Morgana?
Damn it, it is.
Yeah, I got you. You thought you could pull a fast one on little old nigga T here? I got you. Boo, 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 boo.
I thought if I picked the only purple thing in here, it would throw you, because how could it be
You know
so
what?
obvious?
You I thought that you would be too on the nose, but I know your nose
See,
knows.
I knew that you knew that.
All right, that's it. I'm sick of this bullshit. I've been down
You know-
here for God knows how long, while you continue to do the same 3 fucking I Spy things over and over again.
It's
If
been
I have to hear one more of your stupid, childish, reductive, circular-ass logic bullshit, funny-ass games, I swear to God, I'm going to lobotomize each and every one of you, and not in the professional way, in the back alley, pickup truck amateur way, so that you'll be conscious the entire time.
I mean, why didn't you just say run down church basement way?
Dr. Werb will
Somebody
take
clip that, please. Somebody clip that.
We'll take Morgana's tentacle and place it against his forehead. Do it. Come on.
Oh my God! You just so dramatic all
You
the
said
time.
you said you would. Just do it.
That's her tentacle. She doesn't have a Gatling laser in her tentacles. Take her arm if you're gonna do
You're
it.
right. man.
I actually do have a dagger in my hair tentacles.
Oh well, you know what? I stand corrected.
It's not a gun; it's a dagger. It's a weapon.
Also, Dr. Worm, we've been down here for 37 hours. If you were wondering. But I agree with you. I agree with you. We shouldn't sit around here anymore. We should get out there and take down this hospital.
Yeah, you're right.
Please don't make me beg you.
And Morgana thinks really long and hard on this and says something that only Dr. Worm will hear. So no spending luck here. This is something only Dr. Worm will hear. I know a way we can get back at Nicola T and Draxus for this. They're not going to sleep comfortably for the next 2 weeks.
Don't you play with my heart?
I wouldn't dare.
Okay. All right. Live to erode another day. Okay.
That's the spirit.
You know what? I spy with my little eye somebody that's seen the reason and a reason to live. It's beautiful. Let's get going. Pat him on the back and head out the door.
Hey, was it Doc Worm?
It was! You're so good at this game! Come on, Drax, let's go. Race to the
All
door.
right.
So Nicola and T and Draxus are the first ones out, but Angela, who's been quiet the entire 37 hours, stops Dr. Worm on the way out and says, I wanted to say thank you. I know Morgana's just doing the polite thing, not really knowing how she fits in here, but if you didn't yell at them, I was about to kick Nikki in the balls, I'm not going to lie. I probably still will kick him in the balls at some point.
Why didn't you tell me? I would have stayed completely silent.
I can't speak, through the mind thing. I'm not told. What is
You
it?
can gesture, though. Like you just take 2 fingers and then whap repeatedly there. I'll get the gist.
Tell you what, next time I'm thinking it, you'll get that same gesture.
So, like in 30 minutes.
I'm seeing a lot of potential squandered. That's all today's been.
Well, I know that what I'm about to say next is going to sound odd given what we just said, but make sure Nikki doesn't come back in a radiated mess. We don't exactly have any Radaway or Radex here. Unless you have any.
I'll get right on that.
And she winks at you and says, oh, I mean, if you take a few extra moments, wink, wink, to get him inside safe, wink, wink, maybe a little bit of radiation damage to sober him up, wink.
Are you having a stroke?
Maybe, I'm not sure.
We should get that looked at.
Well, what's your professional opinion, Doctor?
I mean, we're in the post-apocalypse. We're all fucked. What does it matter?
That might honestly be the best prognosis I've ever been given.
Oh man, there's so many more things to I Spy out here. We should have done this outside the whole time.
I might still shoot them.
Be my guest.
So,
I
Dr. Worm.
spy.
Oh my god. So, Dr. Worm and Morgana join Draxus and Nicola T outside. Now, there's two ways we can go about this, and I'll entertain a third if you think of something better. But basically, the way this is going to work is it's going to be very similar in the way that Draxus got the fridge from point A to point B, with a twist. The twist is that I need to know who has the lowest athletics and endurance score.
My athletics is 4. My endurance is 10.
All right, so Draxus has a 14.
I'm at a 13.
You're at a 13, Nicola T.
Can I decline to comment?
How bad?
I mean, I believe that's your Fifth Amendment right.
I mean, is the Bill of Rights still a thing at this time period?
It's in pieces, but yeah, it's still mostly
Yeah,
there.
it's somewhere. Yeah.
It's a side quest in Fallout 3, isn't it? To get the Bill of Rights, the Constitution.
I think so. It's been a while since I played 3.
My endurance plus my athletics is a 7.
7. Okay. So the reason I asked that is it's going to require 7 successes on combat dice to get you to the hospital where this synth base supposedly is. Now, the good news is that this is a group check here, so all of you are going to be rolling here. However, you cannot spend AP on this, but all your successes will count towards one another's, and you're going to be rolling like normal. So each of you's rolling 2, and I need to see at least 4 successes here. So it's actually rather good odds. You've got 6 dice.
Combat dice?
No, not combat dice. Your endurance and athletics. Sorry, I should have been.
Okay. Sorry. Okay, that makes sense actually.
Yeah. All right, there's 1 from Nicola T. All right, there's your 4. So now whoever feels the most lucky, you may roll 4 combat dice. It is possible to beat this in one go. Depends on how lucky you feel.
Can we get someone in the chat to roll it?
I think
To roll it.
I think Professor Hex needs to roll them.
I think he does.
Why? No, that's you guys know. Like, it's not.
YOLO.
We stopped playing golf.
I did it.
The idea is not to score low anymore.
I didn't roll well.
Do you want to spend a luck on those zeros?
I mean, obviously. Cool.
Okay, that's actually 5 successes.
5.
So you actually get a good distance down the road towards this hospital with Morgana guiding you along the way. However, it is still hurricane force winds and hurricane force weather that you're having to deal with. So, this is going to be some radiation damage towards you, Mr. Nicola T. Because again, Dr. Worm is a ghoul and Draxus is a Deathclaw, so they don't care.
And Morgana's a robot.
Morgana is a robot. She doesn't care either.
How
do you feel about 9 radiation damage?
I feel like I'm dead. That's terrible. That's really shitty. Yeah, I'd take it to the face.
Okay. So yeah, what I would say then is you have the option of getting the rest of the way to the hospital, but you'll lose all pretense of stealth if you take this option. So if you want to still stealth up to the hospital, like everybody does in Fallout and Skyrim, where you just crouch walk everywhere, I will need another athletics and endurance if you wish to be stealthy.
I don't play that way. Don't lump me in with those with those stealthy players. I am not. I'm loud. We're going loud.
Okay. All right.
In
that case,
you know, I'm not. I don't speak for everybody though, so it is nominally a semi-democracy.
This is a YOLocracy, and Nicola T screams YOLO swag 420 blaze it and runs in guns a-blazing.
Okay. That's about what I expected. Mm-hmm.
It's and Draxus will turn to Doc Worm as he does this, like it's like 2:30.
One day, son, you will understand the joys of things like day drinking, and you'll know that it is a necessary step in the self-medication process. So
I mean, typically, self-medication is just a way to. You know what? We'll talk about this later. We should probably. He's going to get killed if we don't go.
I think we can stay to talk about this. I think we have time.
All right, but I'm just saying, like, the the act of self-medication. I mean, when taken to excess, really, I think underscores really just highlights
You speak up? I can't really
yeah,
hear you.
really highlights.
Get out of here!
Really highlights the
You won't
sort
take
of
me alive, God damn it!
poor underlying emotional health.
My shoulder! Come on, guys, get in here!
Did you hear something?
Yeah.
What is-
Oh, my shoulder! Can you please get in here?
I don't know if you all can see him, but I can. He's shooting at nothing and acting as if his shoulder has been shot. Is this what you call role-playing? Why is he role-playing in the middle of a rainstorm?
Did I see the demons?
This isn't role playing. He's LARPing.
What is LARPing?
I'll tell you about it when you're older.
It is a dark, arcane art which we do not dabble in.
It's a type of black magic.
So what you're saying is he's a heretic?
If you like.
Yeah, that's about it.
Should we join him before he goes further into the dark arts?
Well, you see, if he makes a lot of noise, he'll draw out whatever's defending that hospital, and then we can hit them from a better position.
I was waiting for somebody to ask. All right, so here comes a bunch of rolls. Do not feel intimidated by the number of rolls. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
He's just getting lit up.
So those actually weren't to shoot Nicola T. Those were actually to see if anybody was noticing Nicola T. So let me go back and check. I see 4 of them will. So Nicola T, let's actually cut you up into ranges here. So Draxus, Dr. Worm, and Morgana, you guys are at long range. Nicola T, you are going to be at close range as 4 synths walk out to meet you from the hospital. Now, the hospital itself, to give you a little bit of backdrop here, the hospital is a 2-story concrete affair. All of the windows have been blown out. The doors have been torn from their hinges. It's basically what you would expect from any post-apocalyptic hospital at this point. However, the key distinction here is that the synths, which do walk out to meet you, are not the first generation kind, the kind with exposed wiring and, really uncanny appearances. These are still uncanny, but it's more unnerving because it's more like a human face. Like a Generation 1 synth is definitely a robot. This is like a Generation 2 synth where they haven't gotten it quite right yet, but it's almost like Arnold in
it's a T-800.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those things where they are wearing leather clothing. Their legs, while they are humanoid in nature, they're obviously artificial. You're basically going against 4 Terminators at this point. But we are going to go into initiative order at this point. And I already have everybody in the appropriate turn order. So at this point, it's just a matter of you all just dealing with the synths that have come out to meet you. So yeah, first up, I do believe Nicola T, you have the honor of going first.
Well, snapping back into reality and realizing he's not being attacked by orcs, he is going to draw his laser gun and will target the closest synth strider with said firearm and will drop to a knee and begin shoot things. I would like to target his brain, his head.
His head? All right.
And let's see how that works out for me.
All right.
All right, combat dice. I will spend 1 AP to roll 3.
Noted.
I always do that. 3, 10, 6.
All right, it is 2 successes. So actually, no, isn't it a tag skill for you?
Yes, it is. That is 3 successes.
That's 3 successes. You get 2 AP back. And yeah, you will hit the nearest synth strider. Go ahead and roll.
Target the head. Wouldn't it be difficulty 2?
You're right. Because I was thinking you still had like the Pit Boy thing from the other game. So okay.
Never had that.
So then you're only going to get the 1 AP back. Got it.
Yeah. So, but I will hit him in the head, and I will spend the 2 to roll the extra damages. That will be 4 with piercing 4. I'll spend a luck to reroll 2 of those. For piercing 5 damage.
5 damage, and that is enough that you do dome the synth strider that is coming at you. Now, it doesn't go down, but it definitely is one of those things where you knock its head back so far that it was unnatural. Like, you could almost see the exposed throat and veins and machinery underneath. Cool. It does not go down, though. It only stops in its track, and its turn will be lost on this round.
Sweet. How much AP is it to go again?
It is 2 AP to have another major action at a difficulty of +1.
Cool. I'd like to do that, and then I would like to just shoot at one of the other ones. Okay. But not target, just shoot.
Not target. So it would still be a difficulty of 2 in that instance.
I will spend our last AP to get an extra die. And that's 10 and 6. Come on, be running to whammies. That is 2 successes.
That's 2 successes.
Good. And then I'll spend the extra damage to roll 6. I will take that. I'm good with it.
Yeah.
And the torso. That is 6 damage, 4 piercing in the torso.
All right. Give me one moment because synths are technically robots. So they have a different critical hit table. I just want to make sure I'm doing the right thing here. All right, let's see. Interesting. Go ahead and... am I reading this right? Huh. I could have sworn that they had, like, robots had a different total table altogether. But all they're really saying is that you're just supposed to fluff them to be for robots, unless I'm misreading this.
I'm not fluffing anyone.
Thank you, Hex.
What if we ask nicely?
All right, here's how we're going to do this. Nicola T, roll me 2 more combat dice.
I'm part of the union, so I can't.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, right.
2 effects.
All right, so what that's going to mean is you literally put a hole through the Strider's chest. Awesome. And it's still coming at you, but you can see clear through the chest cavity itself, and you can just see these arcs and jets of sparks as it tries to deal with the fact that you almost hit its, well, I hesitate to call it a heart, but you nearly took it out there in one shot.
Its core battery.
There you go. And yeah, chat just gave you an AP as well, as we now go to Dr. Worm.
Okay, so I'm still at long range. What am I seeing?
So what you're seeing is, oh God, hello, voice crack. So what you're seeing is 4 synths coming out of the hospital, just sort of stepping through the glass walls, or what were glass walls at one point. You see Nicola T fire off 2 shots at 2 of them. One is hitting the head, one is hitting the chest. The one hitting the chest has a hole through him that you can see. And you're also seeing that on the roof of the hospital, there does appear to be a mysterious figure that you can't really make out the details, but you can see something humanoid up there through the wind and the rain.
Is there any available cover?
Now, that is something where the cover is actually going to be provided, perhaps not by actually anything between you and the hospital itself, but by the sort of wind and rain that has been whipping around you this entire time. Oh, I need to roll for Nicola T. Sorry, I knew I was forgetting something because rad damage is per turn.
I mean, you could not. I mean, you know,
you're fine. You can tank 2 rad. You're fine. All right. So, because Nikola T was at close range, he did not take an additional to his additional difficulty, but any attack from medium or long range is at a difficulty of +1. So, keep that in mind.
Okay.
Now, again, in terms of cover, it's pretty far open. I mean, there's some small embankments where you could conceivably get prone and like almost World War II style, like get real cozy with like this little hill. But it's not like there's like chest high walls everywhere, or there's not really any burnt out cars. But what I would say is this is an opportunity you could spend a luck to make a narrative declaration that perhaps there is some cover.
Hey, listen, what I'm hearing from you is just to let Nicola die.
Yeah.
That's what I'm.
Well,
That's
no, that's open to interpretation, I suppose. But that's certainly one
it's-
interpretation of it. That's
it's
certainly.
pretty definitive, actually. I think that's
All that bold talk from a one-eyed rotten guy.
got me.
Fill your hand.
Yep, savage. I don't know if I can go on.
He's clearly crushed. Look at his face. Look at him. You've destroyed him. I hope you're happy. The anguish.
Okay, so I'm at long range.
Mm-hmm.
I want to move. Can I get to short range from here?
So with your move action, you can move up to medium. You would have to sprint in order to get to close with the synths. And sprint would be your major action. So you would... I actually don't think you've got enough. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to do a second major action because you only have the 1 AP right now.
Right.
But just moving to medium is your minor action. So you could move up into medium, which I still think is better for you if you're going to take a shot. Because instead of it being... Yeah, I'm just trying to think here. Where did I put this chart? Here it is. And I'll just show it to players so that you all can see what I'm seeing. So because it matters here, that plus chart, the +1, the +2, the +3, that's not including the weather. So keep that in mind.
Okay. So that means that all of my weapons are close range weapons. So I'd be operating at a +1 difficulty, right?
Yes, so it would be a +1 because you're firing from medium, but then another
Right.
+1 from the wind and the rain. So you trying to hit one of the synths would be at a difficulty of 3. And if it does help, you actually just got a Nuka-Cola Quantum from chat, so now you have 3 AP. So you could redo your turn if you wanted to sprint, say.
No, I'm going to stay where I am.
Okay.
I'm just going to spend the 1 AP to roll 3. But hold on a second.
Remember to check your perks too, because your perks could have something.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. I'm trying to make sure that I'm not missing anything. Nope. Okay. Here's what I want to do. Instead of spending the 1 AP to get the extra D20, I'm going to spend the 1 AP to get an extra minor action and aim instead.
Okay. That will let you reroll a D20.
Okay, so I've got the 2. And then let's see here. I'm going to use my 44, so small guns.
Mm-hmm.
7, okay. Insert numbers here. Well,
that is 1 success with a complication.
Listen, I'm going to reroll that 20
complication.
since I aimed. Yeah. Okay.
All right, that is 2 successes. Do you want to modify that at all, or you just want to take the two successes?
Yeah, I'm just gonna take the 2. I'm gonna take a L on this one.
All right. So, of course, deduct the relevant ammo, but you fire out a shot. Nicola T, you hear a bullet whiz past you from behind. Luckily, not really aimed at you, but also not really aimed at the Striders. But hey, Dr. Worm is trying, and that's what really matters.
You shoot like you play golf pretty well, just not as good as me.
All right, now comes the Synth's turn. And unfortunately, Mr. Nicola T, you are currently the subject of their ire. Now, the good news is that some of them are damaged and have lost their turn. So only 3 of the 4 are going to get to act here. Now, your defense is a 1, correct?
Maybe it's 100. I don't know. Let me look at my sheet. Yeah, it's a 1.
It's a 1. All right. So they're going to come at you with shock batons. They're not going to just shoot you with laser guns. They're going to try and literally melee beat you to death.
Jesus.
So here's roll 1. All right. So you will take 4 damage reduced by armor to the torso. Not that it matters.
Okay.
The next one will be 6 to the right arm.
Okay.
And then the other one will be another 4 to the left arm. Now, did you take 5 or more damage in a single attack is the question.
I did not.
All right, then you just take the damage. You're struck in the left arm, the right arm, and the torso as they literally start like a beatdown of just shock batons. Just doosh, 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 doosh.
Stop resisting.
Oh, Lord. But the good news is that's all the Striders. Mr. Draxus, it is now your turn.
All right. So, it would be my major action if I wanted to sprint to get into melee range with these dudes, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And refresh my memory, GM, how many action points to retain the initiative and get a second
A second major action, you mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
You would have to spend 2 AP, and that action would be at a difficulty of +1.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to do that. So Draxus is going to come charging in.
Okay.
To the synths, and they're, beating up his best friend. So he's just going to come. He's just going to come charging in, and
Best friend too, buddy.
yeah, as he's just like sort of bounding down. He's almost like sprinting. So I picture that Deathclaw sprint, sort of like on all fours. And then, springs on them, and we'll go ahead and try to tear one of them up.
All right.
So I am actually going to go ahead and spend all 3 of those. So I'm going to spend 2 to get a second attack, and I'm going to spend 1 for an additional D20 on this roll.
Okay.
And unarmed is a tagged skill for me.
That's just 2 successes, which is only a difficulty of 1, so you do get an AP back.
All right. I thought this was at a difficulty of 2 because I retained the...
Oh, you're right. Good call. I momentarily forgot. Yes, it is a difficulty of 2.
Yeah. So yeah, let's smash him up. And that's gonna be 11 points of damage to the synth's left leg.
All right. Which synth are you attacking? Are you attacking the one with the hole in the chest, the one with the head knocked back, or one of the 2 untouched?
Let's go for the one with the head knocked back.
All right. You basically perform a surgical removal of the leg. It does not spurt blood. It does spurt oil, as the synth strider is hereby removed from this plane of existence. And at this point, it's now time for Morgana. So I'm going to be dictating Morgana's actions, but you all can use your AP to give her additional dice. So I think Morgana is going to do that shift of her left arm into that Gatling laser, and she's just going to go to town. So her difficulty is going to be a grand total of a 3 here. And she is going to be aiming for the 2 untouched synths. So, would you like to give her any AP before?
2 AP and give you 1 AP so she can shoot.
Okay.
4 dice. Let's go, Morgana. It's your maiden roll. Let's get weird.
All right. So whoever feels the most lucky, or if you want me to roll it, you all do have access to Morgana's macro here. So whichever one of you wants to do the honors.
Oh my god. Where's the macros?
All right. Well, that is one. That is only 2 successes, unfortunately.
She's never attacked skills?
Actually, you're right. That 3 should be a crit. I'll have to investigate why that didn't roll properly. Yeah, that is 3 successes. So she is going to be dealing 5 damage, burst, and 1, and it's going to be the torso. So just like what you did, Nicola T, she's going to put a hole through the other Strider's chests. Now, it's not as big as a hole, but it is still significant enough that it's going to do an additional 1 damage. So they're now at that. Very nice. So mechanically, you all hear the wind-up, even over the roaring wind and the rain. You hear the wind-up of the Gatling laser, and then like really, really fast energy bursts as the bursts lance into the Striders and sort of knock them back a little bit.
Didn't we, point of order, didn't we establish that they make a pew noise?
Oh, that's right. Pew, 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 pew. Oh, Lord. All right, so Nicola T, it is your turn. Before I forget, I'm going to be rolling the radiation damage. You're still fine.
Cool. I'm going to shoot one of the ones that got a hole in it with my laser gun. And
hold on.
well,
You just got a Wild Wasteland.
Let's go.
They want it on table 2. All right, let me...
God bless you, Grey Matter. May Odin forever watch over you with his one good eye.
That... Chad, I'm going to be real with you here. I wrote this for somebody in a certain other game, another character, and this joke is going to... You know what? I'll just stop delaying. So, Nicola T, on your turn, as you start to aim at one of the synths, a magazine flies into your face.
What magazine is it, ELH?
Well, as you reach up and pull the magazine away from your face, you see that the title is, I just got isekai'd to the wasteland, and now I'm a super mutant that can understand everything.
God damn it.
It's a very high concept title.
Nicola T will put that in his pocket for later humor and will now shoot the synths in the face. Or just shoot them. I'm close range, right?
You are close range, so luckily you do not take the difficulty from the wind and the rain.
All right, let's get weird.
All right, 2 successes.
Three successes because that is a tag skill with a 6.
All right, gives you 2 AP back.
Spend an extra ammo. 8 damage.
Piercing that is significant. Which one do you want to put down?
The one on the left.
The one on the left. Strider C goes down hard.
In the torso.
Yep, you just blow right through its CPU. It's gone.
And then I will spend that 2 AP that I just got to shoot the other one.
Okay, there are 2 remaining.
Yep. One of the other ones with a hole in the torso. And I will give you an AP to roll 3 dice.
Okay.
3, 10, 6. Come on, baby.
That is significantly enough, yes.
4.
3
That is
successes.
4.
4 successes.
Which is 2 AP back for an additional 5. It's piercing 5.
That is significant. So you once again, you take out 2 shots, boom, boom, 2 synths go down. And honestly, the only one that's remaining is one that Morgana shot. So we now turn to Dr. Worm. Can Dr. Worm get the killing blow?
No. So Dr. Worm's going to move up again, right? Take his minor action to move to a close range. So there's 1 left, right?
1 left remaining, yes.
Okay.
That is significant.
What I would like to do, I'm going to holster the 44
Uh-huh.
and from a nearby bag,
Oh, no.
section, orifice, who knows, whatever it may be.
Hammer
I will
space.
I will retrieve the mass driver.
So it's like one of those comical things where you just like reach into your pack and you just keep pulling out like the big old golf club.
The big driver, yeah.
The big stick.
The big stick.
I mean, we were talking about that earlier. So
Oh, I expect a pun when you take this thing's head off. I expect a pun.
So I am going to rush forward and at the last minute sort of like adopt a driving stance and then whap, hit this thing. I will generally aim for the head, but I'm not going to specifically target, right? Yeah. Okay. How many AP do we have?
You've got a grand total of nothing.
We have 2.
Cool.
Oh, you disconnected from Motley. I was like, yeah, you have 2 right now.
We have 2.
Okay. I would like to spend, let's see. I would spend 1 to aim, and I will spend the other to add an additional d20.
Noted. Very good spend.
So 3d20. Melee weapons. God, why did I do this? Okay. And
if Dogwork runs down, he's got the mass driver and he adopts the golfing stance. Draxus is going to do his best impersonation. And it all comes down to this.
Well,
okay.
Hex, that's 0 successes. You're going to have to luck it if you want to.
So that didn't
Well,
go
you did
great.
aim. You did aim, actually. You did aim, so you do get a free roll.
I'm going to go. I'll go ahead and do that then. Let's see. Okay. And that's.
Yes.
That's what you needed.
Okay. So that's 1. That's all I needed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll take it. Now it's time to roll for the mass driver. Now, remind me the stats. You said that the damage was. I saw 5, right?
Let me actually pull up my golfing supplement, available now on Patreon and on Google Drive. Where did I put you? To T or to not to T? Where in the world are you? There you are. The mass driver is considered to be 5 combat dice of damage with the stun damage effect.
Mm-hmm.
And it does energy damage if it matters.
Right. So with melee weapons, does that include, in terms of damage dice, something else? Or am I thinking of something?
Right.
When
Yeah, I was going
to say, if you have a high enough strength, the strength does add to your damage here.
No,
so let me ask
no,
that.
It does not.
Let me check. It could.
Absolutely not.
You never know. Strength.
I think I do.
Is your strength really that bad?
My strength is a 4, so.
Oh yeah. You're not. Yeah, I think it has to be like 7 to.
Okay. Well, then I will just roll the 5 then.
All right.
Okay.
Well, didn't you
5
spend
die.
1 for the additional die already? So you would be rolling 6. You did make a point of saying it. Just looking out for you.
Not the challenge die though. It was to roll the additional d20.
Oh, I see the disconnect now. Yes. Carry on. Do you wish to luck those 2 zeros?
Yes. 2. Rolling again. Fuck you. I'm going to spend another luck point. By God. 2 more dice. There we are.
There you are. All right. So, Dr. Worm, you are going to kill it, and this will be the final moment of today's session. How does this synth go down?
like I said, I draw the, in a comical, magician-esque pull
Mhm.
from some pack or something like that. I will rush forward. I will press a button on the shaft of the mass driver to create the rocket sort of propelled bit on the head, and I will again, as I get really close, get into a golf stroke, aim for the head, and I will of course yell 4 and basically try to take this thing's head clean off.
And you do. Go sailing over the hospital, far into the distance, and the narrator says, "And now we see the master at work. That was a 400-yard shot into the wind and the rain of this rad storm. A great day for golf. A great day for the Commonwealth."
Great day for America.
And a great day for, indeed, the world.
Mars too.
Yeah, at that Morgana sort of...
I can't hear you.
Oh, we're saying good shot.
Great job, Dr. Worm.
Oh, I got rot out of that.
And it is as you...
Just gesturing.
Right, as you're like making gestures at one another, you eventually all get back together as a group and proceed into the hospital proper. But that is where we're going to end this session. This will be a 2-parter.
Good.
So yeah, I'm not going to lie though, that Rad Storm event really, I think, actually made things really spicy. I'm really glad we got that result.
That was awesome.
Agreed. Quite good.
Mm-hmm.
I want to throw it out there that I'm at 13 of 27, and my max HP went from 27 to 19. I don't feel so good, but
you need some rad. You need some rad away or some rad X.
You're fine.
Right.
Walk it off.
Well, this is where I'm going to end the recording for YouTube. So YouTube, thank you so much for tuning in. You'll see these lovely individuals next time. Until then, we'll see you later. Bye, YouTube.